What's going on, property hustlers? My name is Andrew, and today I want to discuss what happens to the real estate market when interest hikes happen. Let's get into it right now. Now, before we get started, I want to remind everyone that if you're interested in doing real estate investing in Ontario and want help with the journey along the way, feel free to message us and we'll be sure to help you out. If you have any comments, make sure to comment in the comments below and we'll make sure to answer each and every comment and questions that you might have. Now, a lot of people have been having reservations about getting into real estate right now because of the recent notices of hiking the interest rates. And as you know, in Canada, there's been a lot of talk about hiking that interest rate by 0.25% incrementally throughout the course of this year. I want to contextualize what this means for you as a real estate investor or as a home buyer, because a lot of people just know that interest rates are going up, but they don't necessarily take into account exactly what this means to them in practice. So let's break this down a little bit. To really bring this into context, I want to use an example of what somebody might be looking at here in Ontario. So let's use a $1 million home as an example. And in this example, if you want to break it into a $500,000 home, just divide all these numbers by 2. Let's say that you're a standard home buyer purchasing a property for $1 million in Ontario and you're qualifying via standard means. Let's make a few assumptions here. Let's say that you're getting qualified for 80% loan to value, which means that you're putting 20% down. We're going to chart this on a 25-year amortization period. We're going to assume that you or whoever is signing on with you is qualifying for this type of mortgage, and the stress test all just makes sense. And we're just going to crunch the numbers as follows. The current interest rates we're looking at is 2% or something around there, and people are worried about that 0.25% increase. But what does this actually mean to you as a home buyer or as an investor that's going to be paying this interest? If you're putting 20% down, which is $200,000 on your property, and you're at 2% interest, you're going to have a mortgage payment of $3,387.61 every month. That's going to be your mortgage principal and interest. Now, what happens to that mortgage payment if it increases by 0.25%? Let's just say you're on variable rate and you are going to get that increase of 0.25 when it happens. Well, in practice, what that means is that your monthly mortgage payment is going to go up by $97.29. So about $100 a month. For every 0.25% on $1 million property with that standard 20% down, we're looking at an extra $100 a month. Now, that might not be a big deterrent for some investors or some home buyers, because if you think about it from your perspective, would you not buy an investment property because your mortgage is now $100 more? These things do and can get out of control, and there's a lot of things that you have to consider, but the question we're trying to answer here is how much is this going to affect the market? And if you are looking to sell a property, are buyers going to be wary to buy now because of these interest rates hike? And remember, in context, they're saying that they're going to do roughly 7 hikes, right? And that might bring our interest rates up to 3.5%. If every 0.25% is making a difference of $100, if we're at 3.5%, that's about $600 a month. And now we're talking some money. $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. $600 a month, we're like $7,200 a year. That's somebody's vacation. So if a single family home buyer is looking to buy a property and have to pay an extra $600 a month, would a family be unwilling to make certain concessions like their family vacation? I don't know. You have to think about that and test out how you feel the market is going to go. But now let's look at a few more things that we ought to be considering. I'm sure everybody has realized, unless you own an electric car, that gas prices have been going up like crazy, and a lot of things are going up like crazy. It's not just gas. Groceries are going up, products are going up. Anybody going to Home Depot is now back to paying $10 on lumber. There's a lot of instability in the world. Nobody really knows what's going to be going on or happening. So what does this mean to the real estate market? Well, you have to understand that home buyers who are looking to purchase these homes, to move into them, and maybe have some family members move into them, it's not just that, oh, it's an extra $100 on this 0.25%. It's also that groceries have gotten more expensive, gas has gotten more expensive, and when somebody needs to consider their entire budget, everything plays into it and has an impact. So if anybody tells you that, oh, it's just $100 on the real estate investment, even when you're considering renting properties out, people have to consider these things as part of their calculations, right? That's why when we do real estate investment, we always want to cater to, let's just say, the middle class, right? Because this is always what's affordable. Whenever there's recessions or there's a decline in the real estate market, it's always those luxury properties that will suffer the most. I've talked to a few people who are saying that, you know, people will find a way, people will make concessions. Because in the example we're saying, if we're at 3.5% and we're now having to pay an extra $600, there's options. You have a real estate investment, it's a tangible product, maybe somebody's going to find roommates. Maybe somebody's going to bring the in-laws in. Maybe somebody is not going to spend so much money on Starbucks anymore, and they might actually put those monies to more essential bills. Some people might not be willing to make such concessions. Some people don't want roommates, right? And you have to understand that this is impacting people as a whole, and you really have to measure out how you think this is going to play out in your real estate investment market. And then if you want to broaden things out even even more. You want to see what might be leveling out this demand. Will properties continue to rise this way? Personally, I think they're going to level out. And the reason why I don't think things are going to decline so much is because I'm considering other factors. Immigration is still going up. People still need a place to live. Production of new homes is not exactly accelerating very rapidly, although the government has announced that they want to alleviate the restrictions on the production of new homes to encourage builders to be able to build properties and make it a little easier for them so we can get that production up, so that way the homes that we currently have are not just skyrocketing in price to the roof. They've identified it as a problem, but you know, the government, when they decide to make these changes, how long do you think it's going to take them to actually make this happen? It's going to be a while, so we can expect the conditions to stay a little bit the same, at least for the time being. But now I want to know, what is your take on the real estate market? How do you feel these interest rate hikes are going to affect your real estate investment? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you have any questions, you can message us or text us or email us. We're going to leave some information somewhere around here. And as always, if you want to get in touch, I'm happy to do so. I want to hear your opinions and I want to connect and see what your take is on real estate. As always, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you on the next one.